Ellen with blackfilm.com. How are you, Zazie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well excited to be talking with you. I love how badass and stoic your character is in the film while still maintaining some gentleness. How did
Hmm.
you use the history of the real Mary to bring Stagecoach Mary to life?
I love that you brought that up because that was something I really wanted to portray was, her strength and also her softness. So thanks for noticing. And I think a lot of her sort of foundation of perseverance and kind of like survivor energy, I would say, was inspired by, was written into the script, but also was inspired by Mary Fields, who is the original Mary. She was a woman who kind of lived multiple lives. And I think, like all people in the West, but I think also particularly Black people in the West, is, you had to survive and you had to, there's kind of iron spirits, I would say. And so, she was known to be kind of strong with men. And, she was like, once she lived in a town where no women were allowed to go into the saloon except for her, because, she could handle it. And so I wanted my Mary to have a spirit like that as well. And while, a lot of Mary Fields' life is not represented in the film, I think sort of the idea of bringing their names into the collective consciousness and to like have all of the characters' spirits, floating about was what we wanted. And I hope I kind of captured elements of who she was as well.
You certainly did. I think Mary's ability, or rather her survival, that's what stood out the most to me. And then juxtaposed with her love for Nat. Like, so that's kind of where the softness came in. But even in that softness, I feel like she still maintained who she was at her core.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And so, quick question about that fight scene with Trudy, because it was epic. Was that you, or were there stunt doubles? Like, how did that work? Because I was trying so hard to figure out if it was.
It was me and a stunt double, and
Okay.
for Regina as well. So we both worked really closely with our stunt doubles. Mine, I worked with Nicolette, and she worked with Sadiqa, who she'd worked with before. I think she worked with her on Watchmen, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and we really rehearsed, all four of us, a lot together. We're finding this fight sequence and making sure it felt really good for both of for mine and Regina's bodies, and how we wanted to move. And, also obviously like the scrappiness that James wanted in the fight. He wanted it to look kind of dirty and rough and raw. And, Nicolette and Sadiqa really kind of did the like figuring out like the physicality of that. We had a larger stunt team around us and like choreographers around us, but when it comes down to it, we're all the ones that have to do the movements. And so it gets adjusted to what we can do, or, what works. And so, when we were shooting that, it took a few days to shoot. But, they were sort of supporting us the whole way. And, there were a couple of little flips and things like that. So we would step aside and let them jump in and do that. And, Regina and I would come back in. So I'd say a joint effort. But Regina and I definitely were also very involved.
It was great to watch. And so before I let you go, I have to tell you, your character delivers one of my favorite lines in the movie. Allow me the latitude of completion. Listen, I am so looking forward to being interrupted so I can use that on someone. Such a classic.
I love that. That line is so James, our director, who also wrote the script. Like, right. I love that. He totally came through, and
it also embodied your character. It like 1,000% with just those 6 words. It was perfect.
I love that. Thank you. What an honor to have one of your favorite lines.
Seriously. And there were a lot of favorite lines in this.
There's some good ones.
Oh my
There's
God.
some good ones.
Classic.
Nincompoop one is mine.
I mean, you can't.
Yeah, I can't.
You're right. How do you not like Nincompoop? So yeah, thank you so much for talking with blackfilm.com.
Right, yeah.
All
Have
right.
a good one.
Thank you. You too.